The zebra's strength was fading, but the rescuers refused to give up. With every pull of the rope, Kifo was dragged closer to safety. The terrified animal thrashed wildly, but the team's calm voices soothed him. Finally, after a tense struggle, the zebra stumbled onto dry land, collapsing with exhaustion but alive. Moments later, Kifo lifted his head. The herd, which had been watching from a distance, rushed forward to greet him. The rescuers smiled, knowing their efforts had saved not just a life, but also the bond of a family in the wild. This powerful rescue became a reminder of the courage it takes to protect nature's most vulnerable, and of the deep connection between humans and the wild animals they fight to save. The team quickly sprang into action. 2 rangers fetched blankets from their jeep and draped them across Kifo's back to keep him warm. Another ranger carefully checked for injuries. The zebra had deep cuts along his legs from sharp branches carried by the flood, and his hooves were scraped raw from fighting the current. Despite the pain, his eyes, wide, fearful, yet full of spirit, seemed to plead for help. The rescuers faced a difficult decision. The herd had gathered not far away, neighing and stamping anxiously, calling to Kifo. But releasing him back too soon could mean death if infection set in or if he collapsed from weakness. For a wild animal, separation from the herd could be just as dangerous as the wounds themselves. After a quick discussion, Daniel decided, "We take him to the field station. We'll treat his injuries and release him once he's strong enough." It was a bold move. Rescuing a zebra was not easy. Zebras, unlike domesticated animals, often panicked around humans. They could kick with enough force to break bones, and their wild instincts made them unpredictable. But the rangers knew that without intervention, Kifo's chance of survival was slim. With ropes and calm voices, the team guided the weakened zebra toward the jeep. Kifo resisted at first, thrashing weakly, his instincts telling him to flee. But his body betrayed him, his legs buckled, and he stumbled forward. Slowly, patiently, the rangers coaxed him up a small ramp into a secure holding space at the back of the vehicle. Once inside, he collapsed, his breathing uneven, his strength nearly gone. The drive to the field station was tense. Every bump in the road made Kifo stir uneasily, and the rangers spoke in low voices, keeping the atmosphere calm. They knew stress alone could kill a wounded wild animal. Daniel kept glancing back, silently urging the zebra to hold on. At the station, the team moved quickly. Under the dim glow of lanterns, the storm had cut off electricity. They cleaned his wounds with antiseptic, wrapped his legs in bandages, and gave him fluids to fight dehydration. One ranger carefully spooned water toward Kifo's mouth, but the zebra only licked it weakly, too exhausted to drink much. The night stretched long. The rangers took turns watching over him. At one point, Kifo let out a soft, haunting whinny, a sound of both pain and loneliness. It echoed in the stillness, tugging at the rescuers' hearts. Daniel whispered again, "Hold on, little one. You'll see your family soon." By dawn, there was a change. Kifo's breathing had steadied. He managed to lift his head and gaze around, ears twitching at the sounds of birds returning after the storm. When a ranger approached with fresh water, Kifo drank more this time, his strength slowly returning. Days passed, and each day brought progress. His cuts healed, his legs grew steadier, and the wild fire in his eyes returned. The rangers fed him fresh grass and monitored his movements. Though wary of his human caretakers, Kifo began to accept their presence, no longer thrashing whenever they approached. But the rangers knew he did not belong with them. His spirit longed for the open plains, for the comfort of the herd that had cried for him that fateful evening. Releasing him back was the only way to complete the rescue. On the 7th day, Daniel made the call, "He's ready." The team loaded Kifo once again into the jeep, this time with more energy in his step. His body, though scarred, carried strength again. As the vehicle rolled across the savanna, the rangers searched for signs of the herd. Zebras are social animals, and the rescuers prayed that Kifo's family had not wandered too far. Hours later, their patience was rewarded. On a wide stretch of grassland, a herd of zebras grazed under the sun. The moment Kifo caught their scent, he let out a high-pitched call. Instantly, the herd lifted their heads. Among them was an older mare, perhaps his mother, who neighed back, her cry echoing across the plain. The rangers stopped the jeep and lowered the ramp. For a brief moment, Kifo hesitated, as though unsure if freedom was real. Then, with one final glance at the humans who had fought to save him, he bounded out of the vehicle. His legs, though scarred, carried him swiftly across the grass. The herd rushed to meet him. His mother nudged him with her muzzle, and the others surrounded him in a protective circle. It was a reunion that melted even the toughest hearts among the rescuers.